Hi, hello everyone. Am I audible? Hello guys, welcome back to Bcca. How are you all? Waiting for your response. Please comment. Hi, 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 all. Sai Teja, good afternoon. Shaili, hi, good afternoon. Ramakrishna, hi, good afternoon. Yes. Hi, Niharika. Prashant, good afternoon. Sri, good afternoon. Sai Teja. Okay. Hi, hello everyone. So you want me to increase the volume? Okay. Hello all. Hello, hi. Yes. Sumant Rebba, love from 2023 batch. Thank you. Love you, Sumant. Yes. Okay, so we are in network analysis, sir. So under network analysis, projects are classified into two types. That is experienced projects and new projects. So what is the difference between these experienced projects and new projects? Means in case of experienced projects, somewhat like construction projects. So company will be having some previous experience. So using that experience, company can estimate the time required for each activity. So time taken for each activity they can estimate with some certainty. Okay, that will be missing in new projects. In case of new projects, R&D projects, so company is not having any previous experience in case of these kind of R&D projects. Okay, in that situation, company cannot estimate with some certainty the time taken for each activity. So in case of experienced project, we know the time duration of each activity with some certainty. So that's why we shall try to reduce the time duration. So this process of reducing the time duration is known as crashing CPM, critical path method. Okay, so coming to new projects, here we don't know the time durations. For that, we have to estimate the time duration. We have to estimate the time duration. To estimate the time duration, here we have program evaluation review technique. Okay, so coming to program evaluation review technique, so here in case of inexperienced projects, something like R&D projects, so time duration of each activity is uncertain. Okay, we don't know the time duration for each activity. So what we have to do, sir, we have to estimate. To estimate these timings, we have, for estimation here we have three types of estimations: optimistic time, most likely time, pessimistic time. So optimistic time means minimum time. So optimistic people are the highly confident people. They will estimate like their plans, strategies, and budgets, everything goes okay as planned. So that means they can complete the project within the planned. So that's why they will estimate minimum time. Optimistic people, optimistic time is minimum time. Pessimistic time means they will assume it like okay, they will take maximum time. Okay, if everything goes wrong, they have to estimate the maximum time, right? So that's why they will give maximum time. Coming to most likely time, if I repeat an activity for a number of times, the most repeated time duration is called most likely time, sir. One minute. See, let's say for example, I'm repeating a project or activity 5 times. I have repeated an activity for 5 times. Okay, so for the first time it took 10 days. For second time it has taken, let's say, 15 days. Third time it has taken 8 days. Fourth time 10 days. Fifth time 10 days. Now what is the time which was repeated highest number of times? Means okay, so here we have three repetitions of 10 days. 10 days it has repeated 3 times, 15 days one time only, 8 days one time only. That means the time which has repeated and highest number of times is called most likely times. Okay. If we repeat the project for a number of times, if we repeat an activity n times, highest number of times repeated time is nothing but most likely time, sir. Okay. Okay, now while drawing network diagram, we have to represent these time durations, right? We have to represent time duration on each activity. Let's say for example, you have drawn a network diagram like this. Okay, on each activity you have to represent time duration, right? Okay, now the question is we have three estimations here. Okay, out of these three estimations, which time we have to consider as the time duration of activity? Okay, so for that we have to take none of this, but you need to calculate a new time estimate that is called expected time. Okay, so expected time, TE, expected time. Expected time. This expected time is nothing but a weighted average, sir. Weighted average means we have to multiply the variables with the weights and divide with the total number of weights, right? Okay, here we have three time estimates. These three time estimates are variable for us. Okay, let's say for example, okay, here TO is a variable, TM, TP, all these are, we can take them as observations. Now we are saying weighted average. To calculate weighted average, we need weights, right? Okay, let's say weights are like weights. Here, weights for optimistic time is 1, weight for pessimistic time is 1, for most likely time it is 4. Okay, I'm not taking for, these weights for an example. Okay, these weights are given in program evaluation review technique concept, PET technique itself. Okay, now we have weights and variables. To calculate average, weighted average, multiply these variables or observations with weights. That means 1 into TO plus 4 into TM plus 1 into TP divided by 1 plus 4 plus 1, that is 6. Okay, so finally TE expected time is TO plus 4TM plus TP divided by 6. This is expected time. So this is nothing but average, sir. Average, one of the most important formula. Next, on an average, we are calculating some expected time for an activity. Okay, so by taking an average, this is expected time, not actual time. Okay, see, okay, let's say for example, I have expected for an activity A 10 days of duration. Expected by using, so expected, and that means nothing but by using this formula I have calculated 10 days. Okay, the expected time for this activity A is 10 days, but okay, in reality this activity A may not be completed in 10 days, right? Okay, there will be some deviation means okay, it may take more than 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, or it may take 13, 14, 15, something like that. So more than 10 days also it may take, or else less than 10 days, 9, 8, 7, 6, like that. It may take more than 10 days or else less than 10 days. That means some deviation will be there. Okay, to calculate the deviation, we have one technique for calculation of dispersion or deviation, sir. Measures of dispersion or measures of deviation. That is, okay, so we have some measures to calculate dispersion. Those are range, mean deviation, quartile deviation, standard deviation. Out of those measures of dispersion, one of the most useful, most accurate technique is standard deviation. Okay, in CMA Foundation, you might have learned this standard deviation formulas and everything in mathematics paper, statistics. Now, see, generally the basic formula for standard deviation is nothing but square root of, okay, square root of sigma f into x minus x bar whole square divided by sigma f. Here f is frequency or weights. Okay, so the same formula we have to take, sir. Here our x means TP, TM, TO. Frequency is for TP it is 1, TM it is 4, for TO it is 1. Okay, by taking that weights as 1, 4, 1 and x values as TP, TM, TO and x bar is nothing but TE. Okay, by using these values, if you substitute those uh, that numbers and terms in this particular formula, in this particular standard deviation formula, we will get standard deviation of an activity in program evaluation review technique, that is represented with sigma, that is equal to, okay, the difference between highest time TP minus TO divided by 6. Okay, by after substituting these values in the standard deviation formula and so doing derivation simplification for, okay, 2-3 pages simplification, you will get finally this formula, sir, this formula. So standard deviation is the difference between TP minus TO by 6. TP is pessimistic time, highest time. TO is optimistic time, minimum time. That means in numerator, highest time minus lowest time. The difference between highest time and lowest time divided by 6. 6 means total weight. See, okay, so we know the concept of variance. Okay, square of standard deviation is nothing but variance. That is equal to TP minus TO by 6 whole square, sir. This is variance. Variance. Okay. If you know the standard deviation formula, you can easily write a variance. Okay, see now. Okay, to calculate, let's say, to calculate total time duration of the project. total time duration of the project, what we have to do, sir? So first of all, we have to identify time duration of critical path, right? Critical path duration is only the project duration. Let's say, for example, our critical path is this one, sir. Okay, A, B, C, D is the critical path. For example, only I'm taking. Okay, so the time duration for activity A is the 2 days. That means expected time for each activity. TE is for each activity is 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now to calculate total project duration, we have to calculate duration of the critical path. To calculate critical path duration, you can add directly expected values. Directly, you can add these values. Expected values of activities in critical path. That means 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That is equal to how much, sir? 14. Directly, you can add these critical activities time duration, so that you will get a critical path duration. Critical path time duration. This critical path time duration is only the time duration of project. Okay, you can directly take like this, sir. But coming to standard deviation, okay, let's say for example, I know the standard deviation of ABCD activities individually. That means okay, so the deviation of activity A is, let's say for example 4, for B it is 9, for C it is 16, for D it is 36 deviation. Okay, let us take small numbers, sir. Why these big numbers and everything? Okay, 1, 4, 3, 2. Standard deviation of activity A is 1. Standard deviation of activity B is 4. For C it is 3. For D it is 2, sir. Okay, so these are the standard deviations of each activities. Okay, to get the total standard deviation of the project. Okay, so to get the total duration of the project, we have added individual activities, critical path activities time durations. But to get the total standard deviation of the project, you should not directly add standard deviations. You should not directly add standard deviations. Why? Means in standard deviation original formula will be having some square root. Okay, so under root values you should not add directly. So under root values, after applying root, you got these values you should not add directly. So for that, what we do is like, we calculate variance. 1 square is 1, 4 square 16, 3 square 9, 2 square 4. Okay, now we can add these variances. How much, sir? 30. So this is called variance of project. Critical path variance, so variance of the project. Okay, so from that variance of the project, you can calculate standard deviation. Standard deviation is nothing but okay, so what we are saying, sir? Square of standard deviation is called variance. So standard deviation is square root of variance, right? So that's why, okay, standard deviation is equal to square root of variance. So square root cancel, you will get the variance. So that's why square root of 30, you will get something. That is 5.47 days. Okay, this is the standard deviation of project. Okay, you should not directly add 1 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2, 5, 1, 9, 10, total 10. So you should not add the direct standard deviations individually and say like that is the standard deviation of the project. We should not say like that, sir. Okay, you should add variances only. Okay, y means after applying variance square. Okay, so the root values will be eliminated. The root will be eliminated in this formula. After root elimination of root, you can add the values. Under root values you should not add directly. Okay, there will be some huge difference, sir. Okay, next one. This is the concept here, keep it in mind. Okay, so on this concept, many MCQs are being asked. Okay, when there is expected time, to calculate project duration, you can add critical path activities time duration, expected time. But to get a standard deviation of project, you should not add the individual standard deviations. You have to calculate variance individually, add the variance, you will get project variance. Okay, square root of project variance, you will get okay, that's it, sir. That is one more point here. Next one. Okay, here we have calculated expected value, standard deviation and variance. Okay, now let's say for example, for example for a project, I have estimated project time duration nothing but expected time T is equal to, let's say for example, 50 days, sir. 50 days. Okay, this is expected time. Now let us apply the concept of probability to this expected time. Okay, okay, see, this expected time is 50 days. Okay, now what is the probability that project will be completed in 50 days? That is the question. Okay, so the probability that project will be completed, this expected time is 50-50. 50-50 chances. With 50% probability, it can be completed. With 50% probability, it may not be completed. Okay. Now, you are saying, let's say some standard deviation is standard deviation equal to 5. Standard deviation is equal to 5. Now, so there can be asked two types of questions, sir. Two types of questions. Okay. Now, what we are saying here, the probability of completing the project within 50 days is 50-50 only. Let's say for example, now they can be asked a question like what is the probability that what is the probability that project will be completed in 55 days. What is the probability that project will be completed in 55 days? Okay, so now this 55 is called required time. This is required time. This required time is here in program evaluation review technique, it is also called as stipulated time. That means our required time TS. Okay, now what is the probability that project will be completed in 55 days? Okay, to calculate that probability, we have to use the formula. So we have to calculate a value called Z, sir. Z is nothing but standard normal variable. Like logarithm tables, we will have standard normal table values, Z values. Okay, so for each probability value there will be some Z value. For each Z value there will be some probability. Okay, so to calculate that probability, we have to calculate Z value. So to calculate this Z value, we have one formula, that is Z is equal to TS minus TE divided by standard deviation. Okay, one of the most important. Okay, see now, okay, so in this particular example we can calculate Z value like T stipulated time is 55 minus expected time is 50 divided by 5. That means Z value is equal to 1. Okay, so now we have to find out the value of Z in standard normal table. But in questions, okay, this Z value will be directly given in the question. Okay, so here two types of questions can be asked, sir. When by giving this required time and this expected time by standard deviation, if they if they are asking to calculate probability, means you have to use the formula Z equal to TS minus TE divided by standard deviation. In some cases, they will give the probability directly, and they will ask us to calculate the stipulated time. In that situation, so same formula we can write it like this. Okay, Z is equal to TS minus TE divided by standard deviation. Bring the standard deviation to left side, Z into standard deviation. Okay, bring this T to the left side, then we will get TE plus Z into standard deviation, that is equal to TS. Okay, now stipulated time calculation is okay, stipulated time calculation is TE plus Z into standard deviation. Let's say, for example, our expected time is 50 days. Our standard deviation is equal to 5 days with some 90 percentage of the probability. With some 90 percentage of the probability, within how many days the project can be completed? If they're asking question like with some 90 percentage of confidence, or else 90 percentage of probability, within how many days we can complete the project? That means you have to use this formula, sir. TS is equal to expected time, T 50 days plus Z into standard deviation. The standard deviation, okay, this Z means okay, for that particular probability value will be having some Z value. That value will be given in the question itself. Don't worry about that. Okay, so again we got two additional formulas here. Two additional formulas, that is Z value formula and stipulated time value formula. Okay, that means in total we got how many formulas here? In this particular concept, we got 5 formulas. First one, expected time, TO plus 4TM plus TE divided by 6, standard deviation, TP minus TO by 6, variance, that means standard deviation square only. Okay, so next one, to calculate the probability, when stipulated time and expected time is given, to calculate the probability, this is the formula. Okay, to calculate the stipulated time, okay, this is the formula. Okay, now we have to understand what is this Z value. Okay, at this Z value 1, we can search for the standard normal table and we will get the probability, or directly for this particular Z values, probability values will be given in the question. You don't worry about that. Okay, now we shall try to understand standard normal curve. Z value, standard normal curve. Okay, now this is standard normal curve, sir. This is x-axis and this. Okay, see, this is, let's say this one is the standard normal curve. Okay, this is the peak point. At this peak point, if you draw a line to the x-axis, on this x-axis there lies expected value T. That it means nothing but average value. Okay, so to the right side of the curve, let me draw. Okay, so to the right side of the curve, this is 50% of area, that means 0.50 area. This total area under this curve represents the area under this curve is 1, equal to 1, sir. Okay, this right side area means okay, from to the right of this TE line, average line, that is 50% area. This is 50% of area, that means 0.50 area, 0.50 area. Okay, see, as we are saying, the probability of completing this expected time is 50-50. That's why this is at the middle, right side 50, left side 50. Probability of completing within 30 days, probability of not completing within 50, within expected time. Okay, probability of completing within expected time, probability of not completing within expected time, that is the TE. Okay. See, so on this x-axis we can take the values. Let's say for example our TE value here is 50, 50, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, like that values will be there. 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, something like that values will be there, sir. Okay, see, this is standard normal curve. Okay, under this okay, there will be a curve. The area under this curve is represents total probability. This area represents probability. So that's why total probability is equal to 1. That's why we are taking area is equal to 1. Okay, so the probability of completing within expected time, TE time, is 50-50. That's why, okay, that's why this midline, okay, divides this total curve into two equal halves. Okay, this is right side part is 0.50 area, left side part is also called as 0.50 area. Now see, let's say for example, standard deviation. Standard deviation is constant. These values are x values, that means nothing but TE values. Okay, you can say x time values. Let's say standard deviation, that is equal to 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, okay. Now, by using this expected value on standard deviation values, so this x means nothing but here time duration. Okay, this is expected time. Using this time durations and standard deviation values, we can calculate the z value. Okay, so z value at this expected time t is equal to 0. Here z value will be +1, +2, +3, and so on. Here left side z value will be -1, -2, -3, and so on. Okay, so z values lies, so right side positive, left side negative. Okay, this is how values will be there, sir. Okay. Now let's say for example the calculation of z is equal to ts minus te divided by standard deviation. Ts, let's say ts is 55, te is 50, divided by standard deviation is 5, that means z is equal to +1. Okay, now so this area, z area represents a +1 means, okay, for z 1 is here, or else we can take for 55, no, 55, let's say some 55 is here, sir. For the 55, z value is 1. Okay, so this area represents this area here, this area represents okay, z value. Okay, now probability of completing project, probability of completing the project within 55 days is, this total probability from 0 to 55 days, this total probability. So let's say this area represents z value from, okay, 50 to 55. Probability of completing the project within 50 days to 55 days, in between probability completion. Now we need a total probability of completing within 55 days. That means even if I complete within 45 days, within 49 days, that means within 55 days only, no. Okay, even if I complete project with 46 days, means that is also less than 55. That means completing the project within 55 days, we have to consider this area as well as this area. What is the area? Okay, what will be the area under this curve means, okay, this is 0.50 now, 0.50. Okay, so here z value is 1, means we have to calculate z value with this area, we will get some z value, sir. Okay, let's say for example this z value at 1 is, we have to check standard normal table, 0 point something, let's say 23. The total probability, to calculate this total probability with completing within 55 days can be calculated using 0.50 plus 0.23. Like that we can calculate the probabilities here. Got it, sir? Okay, so you may get different doubts in this standard normal table. Okay, so easily you cannot understand this one. Okay, with an example we can understand, sir. While solving the problem we can understand this one. Okay, see, here the points you have to remember is, first one, expected time TO plus 4TM plus TP divided by 6, standard deviation TP minus TO by 6, variance TP minus TO by 6 whole square. Okay, so next one, you can directly add the TE values, but you should not add standard deviation values. Okay. uh Last. Okay, that I will explain, sir. I explain. So as per the given question meaning, and you have to add or subtract, you have to decide. Okay, see, let's say for example, again I am taking a curve. Here TE, let's say 50 days, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 49, 48. Okay. Okay, these values are time duration values. Let's say for example our required time TS is 52 days. 52 days. Okay, now we can calculate Z using TS, TS minus TE divided by standard deviation. That means we are calculating the Z value in between TS to TE, this area. Okay, here z value will be 0. Here z is equal to 0 at this point. Okay, right side z will have positive values, left side z will have negative values. Okay, see, TS minus TE by standard deviation will get z some positive value. Okay, for the z value you have to, so you will get a probability, the probability represents this area. Okay, so now let's say for example here z value is like, z is equal to TS 52 minus 50 divided by standard deviation. Some standard deviation takes some 5, sir. Okay, 2 divided by 5, how much? 0.4. For this 0.4 there will be some probability value will be given in the question. Let's say this probability value is 0.2356. Okay, so directly I'm taking this value, we have to check. So this is not correct, but for example only I'm taking that probability. Let's say z at 0.4, let's say probability is 0.2356, for example. Okay. Now this probability represents this area, sir. 0.2356. What does it mean by 0.2356? 2356 represents, this is the probability that project will be completed in between 50 to 52 days. In between 50 to 52 days. Okay, if they are asking like, what is the probability that project will be completed within 52 days? Within 52 days means this area represents between 50 to 52, 50 to 50 days to 52 days. But we need what's the total probability of completing within 52 days. That means even if I complete 46 days within 52, 47 within 52, 48 within 52, 49 within 52, 50 within 52, 51 within 52. That means we have to calculate this total area. Okay, we know this area 0.2356. Now this area is what? 0.50. Add total areas, you will get the probability of completing project within 52 days. Now they can be asked a question like what is the probability that project will not be completed within 52 days? Within 52 days means okay, so this 52, this area represents completing within 52 days. This represents what, sir? Not completing within 52 days. We know the total area under this curve is 1. Okay, or else this area, this particular area is how much? 0.5. Okay, if this total area is 0.5 and this area is 0.2356, what is this remaining area? 0.50 minus 0.2356. That, like that we can calculate probability of not completing within 52 days. Okay, generally, okay, if this is 50, this is probability of completing within 50. This is probability of not completing within 50 days. Okay, so let's say this is 53. This total probability is completing within 53. This represents not completing within 53. Okay, let's say for example they're asking 48. 48, the probability of completing within 48 means this area, not completing within 48 means this area. Okay, so the probability of completing within 48 to 50, this area. Sometimes z value will be given like 0 to something, then you have to take these values 0 to something like this. Okay, so this everything now I will explain this with an example, sir, with an example problem only. Okay, that is June June 24 attempt problem, sir. Most of the adjustments are there in that particular problem. Okay, now we shall solve this problem, you will get clarity. Okay, before entering into that, okay, once again, so the calculation of z value, probability z value, z is equal to ts minus t by standard deviation, or else okay, stipulated time ts is equal to stipulated time ts is equal to ts is equal to expected time plus we have to add standard deviation. Standard deviation with respect to probability, z into standard deviation. Okay, these two are the formulas. Okay, now, so again I will explain this standard curve and everything with this particular question. Go to the network analysis. We have June 24 attempt question. June 24 attempt question here. Okay, go to the page number 11.13. 11.13 network analysis. Okay, so question number 3, page point 11.13, June 24 attempt question. This is somewhat big question only, but okay, so I will explain step by step in detail, sir. First of all, read that question and draw the network diagram for these activities. Read that question and draw the network diagrams. Okay, then I will explain, okay, how to calculate a standard deviation, how to calculate stipulated time probabilities and everything I will explain, sir. Okay, please read that question and draw network diagram. Okay, hello all those who are watching live, are you able to understand or not, sir? Okay, for that standard deviation, standard normal curve and everything. Okay, so most of the people will get confused in that curve. Okay, but okay, I will explain. Okay, hold. Once again, with this problem, slowly I will explain the curve and everything. Don't get confused and everything. Okay, just remember the formula. Te expected time is equal to TO plus 4Tm plus TP divided by 6. Standard deviation equal to TP minus TO by 6. Variance is standard deviation square. Okay, so Z is equal to TS minus TE by standard deviation. Enough these formulas. Okay, now read this question and draw the network diagram. Okay, once again I will explain the concept, standard normal curve and everything slowly, step by step. Okay, guys, see, this was the question given in June 24 attempt. This question covers maximum all the adjustments. Okay, Jobs Unlimited, a manufacturer of plant and machinery, is in the process of quoting a tender called JYOB Limited. Okay, delivery date once promised is crucial and penalty clause is applicable. The project manager of Jobs Unlimited has listed down the activities of the project as under activity 121314 2535 4656. Okay, so they have given optimistic time, most likely time, pessimistic time. Okay, required design the project network and indicate all paths through it, analyze expected duration and variances for each activity and assess the project length. So third one, calculate the standard deviation of the project length and critically assess the probability the project will be okay. So till now they have asked 3 points, sir. First one, network diagram and all the paths. Next one, expected duration and variances of each activity. Standard deviation of the project. These are the points we have to calculate now. Okay. So for that, let us draw the network diagram. Network diagram first of all. Okay, given activities are 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. That means from 1, 3 activities are started. Okay. So take this. This is event number 1. Let's say 1. From here we have to start how many activities? 3 activities. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. Okay. So which one I have to take? 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4. See, here we have 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 6. So we can take 2, 3, 4 like this. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay, then we have 2 to 5, 3 to 5. Let's say this is 5, sir. This is 5. 2 to 5, 3 to 5. Okay, next one 4 to 6, 5 to 6. Okay, take 6 here. Take 6 here. 6. Connect 4 to 6, 5 to 6. Okay, this is our network diagram. Okay, in this network diagram we have to represent time duration on each activity. For the time duration, which time values you have to take means not pessimistic time, not most likely time, not optimistic time. These 4 times timings, any of them we cannot write. Okay, by using those 3 time duration we have to calculate expected time. Okay, those times only we have to write here. Okay, that's why let us calculate. Next, below that, take a table. Take a table, take side heading, calculation of calculation of calculation of expected time TE, variance. Okay, so these two are enough for us. Calculation of expected time TE and variance. Now take the table like this as it is. Take the table as like given in the question. Activities optimistic time, most likely time, pessimistic time. These timings are in weeks. Weeks. Okay, copy paste same like write the table. From there we can write expected value TE variance sigma square. The expected value formula TP plus TO starting with TO plus 4TM plus TP divided by 6. The standard deviation variance is TP minus TO by 6 whole square. Okay. So for that, first of all, we have to so write the table, write the data like that. Take all the activities, optimistic time, most likely time, pessimistic time. Take all the activities. Take all these activities. So take all the activities and next optimistic time, most likely time, pessimistic time. Completed. Now we can calculate expected time TE. To calculate expected time TE, TO plus 4TM plus TP divided by 6. Okay, directly we cannot calculate on calculator. First of all, you should start with most likely time. On calculator, whenever you are calculating on calculator, okay, 4 into 1 plus 7 plus 1. 4 into 1, 4 plus 7, 11 plus 1, 12 divided by 6. That means 2 here. Okay, next one 4 into 4, 16, 16 plus 8, 24 by 6, 4. Okay, 2 into 4, 8, 8 plus 8, 16 plus 2, 18 by 6, 3 here. Next one, 4 into 1, 4 plus 1 plus 1, 6, 6 divided by 6, 1. Next, 5 into 4, that is 20, 20 plus 14, 34, plus 2, 36 by 6, 6. Okay. Next one, 5 into 4, 20, 28, plus 2, 30, 30 by 6, 5. Next, 6 into 4, 6 into 4, 24, 24 plus 18, 42 divided by 6, it is how much, sir? Okay, okay, 7. Take 7 there. Okay, so 2, 4, 3, 1, 6, 7. Okay, so these all are the expected times. So for 1, 2, it is 2. 1, 2, it is 2. 1, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 4, it is 3. Okay, next one, 2, 5, it is 1. 2, 5, 1. 3, 5, 3, 5, 6. 6. Okay, so 4, 6, 5. 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have to write like this, sir, our network diagram. Okay, now before writing paths and all, okay, let us complete this variance calculation, sir. Variance calculation is nothing but TP minus TO by 6 whole square, right? TP 7 minus 1, 6, 6 by 6, 1, 1 square, 1 here. Okay, next one 7 minus 1 6 6 by 6 1 1 square 1. Next one 8 minus 2 6 6 by 6 1 1 square 1. Okay, again next 1 minus 1 0 0 0. Okay, here 14 minus 2 12 divided by 6 2 2 square 4. Okay, here 8 minus 2 6 6 by 6 1 1 square 1. Okay, 15 minus 3 12 12 by 6 2 2 square 4. Okay, so now we got the variance and everything. Now to calculate the project duration and project standard deviation, we have to identify the critical path. So to identify the critical path, let us write all the path. Writing the path means from 1 to 6. How can I reach from 1 to 6? Write all the possible paths. 1 2 5 6 1 3 5 6 1 4 6. Three paths only. 1 2 5 6 1 3 5 6 1 4 6. Okay, here the time durations are, okay, here 2 plus 1 plus 7, that is 10. 4 plus 6 10 plus 7 17. Okay, here 3 plus 5 8. That means what is the critical path? 1 3 5 6 is the critical path. Okay, so critical path duration is 17 days. This is the critical path. This is critical path. The duration of this critical path is 17 days. So the project expected duration is 17 days. Okay. So below the table, write project duration. Project project duration. Project duration is equal to nothing but critical path duration. This critical path duration is nothing but okay, so 17 weeks. Okay, so now to calculate project standard deviation, first of all we have to calculate project variance. project project variance. Okay, okay, we know the variances for each activity. To calculate project variance, critical path variance is the project variance. Critical path variance, that is equal to 1 3 5 6 is critical path variance. Okay, so 1 3 variance is 1 4 2 3 5 4 5 6 4. We have calculated in above table, right? So total 9 is the project variance. Okay, so the project variance, therefore for project standard deviation, project project standard deviation, that is equal to square root of variance. Square root of variance, that means square root of 9, that is equal to 3. So standard deviation of the project is 3. Okay, sir, any doubt sir in this calculation? Now see, in the question we have done with done with point number 1, network diagram drawing and all the paths, expected duration of the project, variance for each activity, standard deviation of the project calculated. Now the point 3a asks whether what is the probability that project will be completed in at least 3 weeks earlier than expected time. What is the expected time of the project? Expected time of the project is 17 weeks. 3 weeks earlier, that means minus 3 weeks, that means within 14 weeks. Okay, in the question they are asking like what is the probability that project will be completed within 14 days. Okay, now take point number 3a, probability that probability that project will be completed 3 weeks earlier. To calculate the 3 weeks earlier, okay, so as our expected time is equal to 17 weeks, okay, 3 weeks earlier means, that means stipulated time, our required time is 17 weeks minus 3 weeks, that is equal to 14 weeks. Okay, now we know te value, ts value, standard deviation value also we know, right? How much, sir? Standard deviation is 3. Okay, so what they are asking, probability. To calculate the probability, we have to calculate z value. For probability, use z value, that is equal to ts minus te divided by standard deviation. ts is 14 weeks minus te is 17 weeks. Okay, 17 weeks divided by 3 by 3, so it is minus 1, sir. Z value is minus 1. Now this Z value is given in the question. Okay, now tell me, so go to the question, and at the end we have the table, right? We have one table at the end of the question, that is Z value. Please highlight this, Z is equal to 0 to Z. Okay, if the Z value is 1, what is our Z value? Minus 1. Okay, so Z value given for 1, that is minus 0.34. Okay, minus means we have to check left side. Okay, there is plus 1 or value is same only. Okay, what is the probability value at this Z equal to 1? 0.3413. Okay, now let us draw a graph, sir. Graph, very very important. Now try to understand, sir. This is standard normal curve. Okay, so this is x-axis. On this x-axis, okay, so the midpoint te midpoint is equal to te 17 weeks. Okay, there may be chances that okay, project will be completed, okay, exactly within 70 days project cannot be completed. Why means 50-50 chances are there. Okay, it can be completed on 18 weeks, in 19 weeks, or else 18, 19. Okay, on x-axis we can take TE, that is equal to 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Here we have 16, okay, 15, 14. Now the question is, what is the probability that the project will be completed within 14 days? Now this 17 is TE, this 14 is TS. Okay, in between those T, okay, what is the value given? Z. Z is equal to, Z value how much, sir, in this question? Z is equal to minus 1. Probability is equal to 0.3413. Now as this value, Z value is given like Z is so here at this TE, Z is equal to 0. At this TE, Z is equal to 0. How 0, sir? Z is equal to TS minus TE divided by standard deviation. If TS is also 17, TE is also 17, that then this becomes 0, no? Okay. Now standard deviation we have, Z value we have, P is equal to 0.314. Okay, at Z value minus 1, P value. Once again go to the question, and Z value 0 to 1, 0.3413. That means Z value 0 to 1, 0 to 1 they have given. That means Z value 0 at TE. Okay, so something minus 1 at TS. Okay, now Z value, this Z value represents the total area, sir. This total area, Z value represents this area. Z value here Z value is sorry, at Z value probability value, sir. At Z probability value is 0.3413. Okay, for Z1 probability is 0.13. That 0.13 is represents this area. Okay, this area means what? What is this probability? Area is nothing but probability only. 0.3413 represents the probability that project will be completed in between 14 to 15. As per the Z value, we got the probability between completion of 14 to 17 days. But we need what? Okay, we need to calculate the probability that project will be completed 3 weeks earlier. That means stipulated time 14 weeks. Okay, that means we need which area? The area. Okay, this area. We need this area. Probability that project will be completed within 14 days, right? Within 14 days, take left side. Within 14 days, take left side, sir. Okay, within 14 days means here if 13, 12, 11, 10. Even if the project completes in 13 days, it is within 14. 12 days within 14, 11 days within 14. But if the project completed in 16 days means that is not within 14, right? So that's why probability of completing project within 14 days is this green area, sir. How can we get this green area means? Okay, it total this left side area is 0.50 minus so this particular area is 0.3413. Okay, you will get 0.1587. That means the probability of completing project within 14 days is 0.87 17 or 87 1587. So that means 0.1587. We can write that like 15.87%. Got it, sir? Now, can you tell me what is the probability of project not completing within 14 days? Completing within, positive. Completing within means check the left side. Not completing within 14 means this total area. This total area. Total area is 1. This particular area is 0.1587. This particular area is 0.1587. That means to 1 minus, or else we can calculate in this way, sir. This area is 0.13. This is 0.5. 5 plus 0.3413. 8413. Probability of not completing within 14 days. Now, what is the probability of completing project within 14 to 17 days? 0.3413. 3 questions can be asked, sir. Within, not within, within 2 periods. Okay, so write a note point here. Note 1. Note 1. Okay, first and foremost point. Okay, here in this question, Z values are given. Z values are 0 to Z. 0 to Z. 0 to Z means for any Z value, you have to check Z0 to Z value. Okay. Now, so at Z equal to minus 1, at Z equal to minus 1, table value is table value given in the question. Okay, that is how much, sir? 0.34 0.3413. So next one okay, this 0.3413 this 3413 percentage represents probability of completing completing within 14 to 17 days, within 14 to 17 days. Okay, this 34.13 percentage represents projects within 14 to 17 days. Okay, but we need what, sir? Okay, probability of completing within 14 days. Probability of completing within probability of hello all. వస్తుంది సార్. See guys, here the probability of fourth point, the probability of completing project within 14 days. 14 days is that is equal to, so this total area 0.50 minus this particular area 0.3413, that is equal to 0.1587, right? That means 15.87% of probability. Okay. Ashwini Wagmore. Okay, how to take this 0.3413 once again. Okay, see this point. Look at it once again. The probability that project will be completed 3 weeks earlier than expected time. What is our expected time here? 17 weeks. 3 weeks earlier than 17 weeks means okay, 17 minus 3 weeks, that means 14 weeks. In total they are asking what is the probability that project will be completed within 14 weeks, right? Okay, so taking this stipulated time as 14 weeks, they are asking within 14 weeks, right? That is required time. TS is 14 weeks, expected time is 17 weeks. Okay, standard deviation is 3. Taking these 3 values, we have to calculate. They are asking probability, right? To calculate probability, first of all we have to calculate Z value. Okay, so TS minus TE divided by standard deviation, 14 minus 17 divided by 3, that is equal to minus 1. Z is minus 1. Okay, so go to the question. In question they have given Z values. Z values are 0 to Z, 0 to Z, 0 to Z plus 1 or minus 1, same only. Okay, so 1 here, for 1 we have 0.3413. okay, now come to this curve once again. Okay, this 14 is stipulated time TS, this 17 is TE. In between, so here we got TE, we know at TE Z equal to 0, at TS 14 weeks Z equal to minus 1. Okay, so in given table, in question they have given, okay, Z value 0 to 1 is value how much, sir? 0.3413. that means the area between these two values, the two values is 0.3413. This area represents 0.3413. So this probability represents what, sir? The probability of completing project within 14 days to 17 days. Okay, we have calculated TS 14, TE. By taking these two values, we have calculated Z value. 0 to Z, plus 1 or minus 1. 2 plus 1 or minus 1, same area only, no? So that's why 0 to Z minus 1, this value is 0.3413. This value we have taken from question itself. In the question, they have given Z values, right? 0 to Z. Okay. This area represents 0.3413, that represents probability of completing project within 14 days to 17 days. But our question is like probability of completing project within 14 days. 3 weeks earlier means 14 weeks. To complete within 14 weeks means the area represents this green area. Okay, if we complete the project within 13 days, within 14 days only, yet by 12 days also within 14 weeks only, sorry, 12 weeks. I'm saying weeks only, not days actually. Okay, if you complete the project within by 11 weeks also, that is within 14 weeks only. That's why this left side area, so this line 14 to left side area, this represents the probability of completing project within 14 weeks. Okay, so this area we need to calculate, sir. For this area, we know this total of area is 0.5, and also we know this area, that is 0.3413. Now 0.5 minus 0.3413 is 0.1587. Okay, that represents probability of completing project within 14 weeks. Okay, here in this question, Z values are 0 to Z. Okay, so now let's say, for example, in particular some questions they won't give like Z is 0 to Z. Z 0 to Z they won't give, sir. Directly Z values they give. Directly Z values they are giving means then you have to assume like from left side to side, from left extreme end to they are giving the values. Okay, so if they are not mentioning 0 to Z means, okay, Z value you have to assume Z value like, okay, at 14 if you are calculating Z means, okay, here they will give directly this value, sir, directly this value in the table. Just because of in the question they are giving 0 to Z means, that's why I am taking this area as okay, this probability in between area. But some questions they will directly give this area, sir, without mentioning 0 to Z. Okay, in that questions you will get directly this area value. Okay, next point, go to the next point. No more than 3 weeks later than expected time. No more than 3 weeks means okay, see 3b probability of completing project within that means now no more than 3 weeks later than expected time. Okay, what is our expected time? Expected time is 17 weeks. No more than 17 weeks means TS is equal to 17 weeks plus 3 weeks. In total 20 weeks, no more than 20 weeks. Okay, we know standard deviation is equal to 3. We have to calculate the probability, right? Probability of completing project within 20 weeks we have to calculate. Okay, they are asking probability. To calculate probability, take Z is equal to TS minus TE divided by standard deviation. TS is 20, TE is 17, standard deviation is 3. That means 3 by 3, we will get Z value as 1, positive 1. At Z equal to 1, at Z equal to 1, probability is equal to 0.3413. Now, this 3413 represents, again coming to standard normal curve. Okay, this is 17, somewhere here 20 will be here. This is TE, this is TS. Okay, at TE Z equal to 0, at TS Z equal to 1. Okay, so Z value 0 to Z. That means this area they have given, sir, in the table. If you look at the table, If you look at the table 0 to Z, that means 0 to 1. This is 0.3413. Okay. So that means 0 to Z value, this area represents 0.3413. Okay. This probability represents what, sir? This probability represents probability of completing project within 17 days to 20 days. Okay, within 70 days to 17 days to 20 days. But we need probability of what, sir? Completing project within 20 days. Within 20 days. If you complete the project by 15 days also, that is within 20 days. If you complete the project by 14 days, that is also within 20 days only. Okay, that's why we need to calculate this total area. For this total area, okay, we know this area 0.5. This is 0.5. For this total area of within 20 days, we have to add 0.5 plus 0.3413. That is equal to 0.8413. That means 84.13% of probability. With 84.13% of probability, so we can complete the project within 20 days. That's it. Okay, now can you guys tell me what is the probability that probability of completing project within, so probability of not completing the project within 20 days? Probability of completing within 20 days is 20 weeks is 84.13. Not completing means 1 minus 0.8413. That gives this area. Okay, now those who are watching live, can you guys tell me, are you clear with it? Are you clear with this concept? Okay, Shaili, Sai Teja, Rama, Krishna, Niharika, Prashant, Srinidhi, Sumant, Rebba, and Ashwini. Okay, are you clear with this one? Okay, are you clear with this one? Okay, now in workbook there is, yes, sir, this area in workbook we have clearly given. This area represents 0. So this is not 0.3413. Okay, for this total area add, for this total area add 0.5 plus 0.3413, you will get 0.8413. Okay, next final point. Shall we move to the final point? Okay, if the project due date is 18 weeks, as is the probability of not completing the due date. Probability of not completing due date. Okay, so that means here in point 4 probability of not completing within 18 weeks. Okay, so this 18 weeks we shall take that as a stipulated time 18 weeks. Okay, we know expected time 17 weeks. Standard deviation is 3. Okay, we have to calculate the probability, right? To calculate the probability, let us calculate Z value. Z is equal to TS minus TE divided by standard deviation. TS is 18 weeks. T is how much, sir? 17 divided by 3, 1 by 3, that means 0.333. Okay, so look at the table. For 0.333, what is the value? Table value 1293. Table value at z equal to 0.333, table value or probability, that is equal to 0.12, 0.1293. Okay, so now let us once again let us draw the normal curve, sir. This line midpoint represents TE, that is equal to 17. Okay, next this line, let us take this line 18, right side, no, TS at TE z equal to 0, at TS z equal to 0.33. This area represents what, sir? 0.1293. Okay, now they are asking not completing, probability of not completing within 18 days. Within 18 days means within 19 days, 20 days, 20, sorry, weeks. Within, not completing within 18 weeks means okay, this area. Okay, this area. How to calculate this area means we can calculate this area by 0.50 minus 0.1293. We will get that area how much, sir? 0. Okay, the probability of not completing project within 18 weeks is 37.07%. Here some wrong diagram drawn, sir. In workbook there is a wrong diagram. Please correct that diagram. This is correct one, sir. Okay, so finally what they're asking? The question, have we done all the yes, we have completed all the points, sir. Okay, so once again in this diagram I want to ask you some questions, sir. What is the probability that a project will be completed within 17 days, within 17 weeks? 0. 0.5. Excellent, sir. Okay, not completing within 17 weeks? 0.5. Excellent. Completing the project within 18 weeks? So within 18 weeks means this total area. This is 0.5 plus 0.1293, 0.6293. Not completing within 18 weeks, this area. Okay. So now what is the probability that project will be completed in between 17 weeks to 18 weeks? 0.1293. Okay. Okay. I hope you got some clarity. Successfully, you have completed program evaluation review techniques, sir. This problem covers maximum all the adjustments. Okay, with these adjustments, you can do other problems, you can easily solve. solve those problems, easy problems only. Okay, you want to practice, if you want to practice other problems, means there is one headache question was there, sir. Okay, next question only. Question number 4. Mark this question. Mark this question and try that one. If you want to try this question number 4 and 5 enough. 4 and 5. After this question, we have 2 questions, sir. Past attempt questions only. Okay, try that questions. Okay, if you get any doubts, means okay, I'm here to explain. Okay, see, next one of the important concepts, sir. One of the important concepts, CPM, critical path method. CPM, crashing. Crashing. In case of experienced projects, in case of experienced projects, in case of experienced projects, okay, example construction kind of projects, construction kind of projects, okay, so we know the time duration of activity time durations for each activity. We can estimate the time duration with some certainty. Okay, as we are having the some certainty regarding time duration of activities, okay, so then we shall try to reduce the time duration, sir. Time duration we shall try to reduce. Okay, so this process of reducing time duration is called crashing. Process of reducing time duration is called crashing. This process of crashing will be done under CPM, critical path method, sir. Okay, so this crashing affects the project in 2 ways. This crashing affects the project in 2 ways. Okay, now let us try to understand why we have to do crashing, sir. Why we have to do crashing? Let's say, for example, a project takes 52 days. Okay, for that 52 days, I need to take a crane or JCB on lease. Okay, rental cost of crane per day is 1000. Per day is 1000. Okay, now to complete the project within 50, if we complete the project by 52 days, means my total overhead cost will be 52,000. Okay, if I try to reduce this time duration 50 days to, let's say, 2 days only, I have reduced it to 2 by 2 days, and if I complete the project by 50 days, means then my overhead cost will be 50 into 1000, 50,000. So that I can save 2000 rupees of cost. Okay, so by doing crashing I can save the cost. I will get some benefit. I will get some benefit. That benefit is we can save overhead cost. Save overhead cost, sir. Okay. So apart from the benefits, Apart from the benefits, we have some cost also. We will incur some small crashing cost. To reduce the time duration, you will incur some small small cost called as the crash cost, sir. Crash cost. Sir, what is this crash cost means? Okay, I'm saying like I'm trying to reduce this 52 days to 50 days. How can we reduce the 50? So how can the work which have to be completed by 52 days can be completed in 50 days, sir? How can we reduce the 2 days? Okay, so the work which has to be completed in 52 days, now we are completing that in 50 days. That means how can we complete that? So we can complete that in 50 days by engaging additional resources, sir. Additional resources. Additional resources means, let's say, for example, the crane has to work 52 days. In 50 days, to complete within 50 days, so I will make the crane to work overtime. Okay, I may give some overtime allowances to crane driver. Okay, some for like that I may give him some money, small money, so that he will work overtime, so that I can reduce the 2 days of time. Okay, that means I have to incur some small cost. No, I have to incur some small cost to reduce the time duration. See, 1 minute. I have to incur some small cost to reduce the time duration. That small cost, here we calling that as crash cost. Crash cost. Okay, this crash cost. So let's say for example, to reduce one day, I have to pay some crane driver, let's say 100 rupees, sir. 100 rupees. Okay, how much I will get? How much I will get to save to reduce one day duration? How much I will save, sir? 1000 rupees. I can save 1000, but how much cost I am incurring? 100 rupees only. Okay, so benefit is greater than benefit. As long benefit is greater than crash cost, you can continue the crashing, sir. As long benefit is greater than crash cost, you can continue crashing. Okay, let's say for example, our benefit to reduce one day is okay. After reducing one day, I will get the benefit of, I can save the overhead cost of 1000. But to reduce this one day, I have to incur 1000 rupees cost, sir. In this situation, okay, can I crash or not, sir? It's our wish. Okay, if you want to crash, reduce the days means, okay, that there won't be any difference in cost point of view. Okay, so if the benefit is 1000, crash cost is 1100, what we do, sir? Do we go for crashing? No. As long as benefit is greater than or equal to crash cost, then only we shall try to crash, sir. Otherwise we will not try to crash. Okay, so based on this concept, based on this one, we have three durations here. Three types of project durations are here, sir. Okay, what all the three types of project durations means? Okay, based on this overall concept, project durations are of three types. Project durations three types. What are the three types means? So first one, normal duration. Normal duration. Normal duration means original duration. Okay, what is the original duration means? Before crashing, the duration before crashing is called normal duration. Before crashing. Before crashing is called as normal duration. Okay, so after normal duration, there have one more type of duration, that is optimal duration. Optimal duration. Okay, so optimal duration means okay, after crashing for after crashing till benefit greater than or equal to crash cost. If you crash the network duration, as long as benefit is greater than or equal to crash cost, then the time duration is optimal duration, sir. Okay, at this point project will have minimum cost, minimum minimum project cost. Here project will have minimum cost. Okay, so even after benefit is less than crash cost, even after our crash cost is more than benefit, our crash cost is more than benefit. So after that also, if you try to crash, then you will get when then you try to then you will get minimum duration. Okay, so what is normal duration means, which is original duration before crashing. Okay, if you start crashing until as long as benefit is greater than or equal to cost means then you will get optimal duration. At that point we will be having minimum project cost. Okay, even after project, even after crashing, this is also after crashing, and till you continue the crashing till the so after benefit is less than crash cost, if we proceed to crash even when benefit is less than crash cost, if we proceed crashing, if we proceed to crash, okay, then you will get a minimum duration. Okay, so even after, as long as crashing is possible, till the maximum extent of crashing, if you crash, then you will get a minimum duration. Okay, we cannot guarantee that cost is minimum here, so cost will be higher here, cost will be higher here. Okay, this is all about crashing, sir. Now we shall discuss how to do crashing and everything. Okay, the process of doing crashing. Okay, here see, so crashing, for experienced project, we shall try to reduce the time durations. By reducing time duration, our project cost will be reduced. That means we can save the overhead cost. Okay, so you shall try to crash the project. Okay, so crashing affects the project in two ways. That is, we can save the cost, overhead cost, and we can also incur some crash cost. Okay, as long as benefit is greater than or equal to crash cost, if you crash means you will get optimal duration only. Okay, even after benefit is less than crash cost, if you further crashing means, then you will get a minimum duration. Okay, so now while doing crashing procedure, sir, very very important. Crashing procedure, sir, please try to focus for next 15 minutes. Next 15 minutes, whatever I'm going to say, just try to focus and listen. Okay, you will get some clarity regarding crashing, sir. So crashing will be done under CPM method, sir. CPM means critical path method. critical path method. Okay, so whenever we are doing crashing, whenever you start doing crashing, you have to ask two questions, sir. You have to ask yourself two questions. Question number one, question number two. Okay, so whenever you're starting the crashing procedure, ask two questions. Question number one, question number one, which path to be crashed? Okay, so question number one, which path to be crashed? Which path to be crashed? Okay, in project network diagram we'll be having multiple paths, no? Okay, so out of those multiple paths, which path I have to crash, sir? Let's say for example we have, let's say for example we have three paths: 1 2 2 3 4 6, 1 3 3 4 4 5 6, 1 4 6. Three paths are there, sir, let's say. Okay, so the first path duration is 20 days, second path duration is 22 days, third path duration is 16 days only. Let's say for example, three paths are there, three paths durations are 20, 22, 16. Now can you tell me what is the project duration? 22. Why 22? Means the path which is having highest duration is called as critical path. Critical path is only the sorry, critical path duration is only the project duration. Now let's say for example I'm trying to reduce the first path duration, sir. Let's say I'm trying to reduce the first path duration. I have engaged additional resources and I have crashed first path by crashed first path by, let's say, 2 days, sir. Okay, this 20 days became 18 days. Okay, so the new path durations are 18, 22, 16. Now can you tell me what is the project duration? 22 only. Okay, so if you crash non-critical path, it does not reduce the project duration. Okay, that's why you always try to crash which path? So the answer here is the crash critical path. Always crash critical path. Always crash critical path. Again here, so our continuation question is okay, so we have decided to crash critical path. That is, critical path is 1 3 4 5 6. Here we have how many activities, sir? 1 3 activity, 1 4 activity, 4 5 activity, 5 6 activity. Here in this path we have 4 activities. Okay, now again our question is like so in this critical path, which activity to be crashed? Which, in critical path we have multiple activities. Which activity to be crashed? Which activity to be crashed means okay, to crash. Okay, so by crashing one day I will get benefit of let's say 1000, sir. If I crash 1 3 path, I will get I will incur 200 crash cost. If I crash 1 4, I will incur 250 crash cost. If I crash 4 5, I will incur 150 crash cost. If I crash 5 6, I will incur 300 crash cost. Now can you guys tell me? Okay, so by crashing one day I will get benefit of 1000. Okay, so by crashing I have to incur, for if I crash 1 3 by one day, I will incur 200 cost. If I crash 1 4 by one day, I will incur 250 crash cost. Okay, in this situation, which activity you shall try to crash, sir? 4 5. Why 4 5 means least cost? Okay, if I crash this 4 5 means my net benefit 1000 minus 150, my net benefit will be 8. 50. Let's say for example, if I crash directly, if I crash 5 6 means okay, so 1000 minus 300, my net benefit will be 700 only. Okay, my net benefit getting reduced. Okay, so whenever you have to crash an critical path activity, always try to crash the activity which is having least crash cost. Least crash cost. Which activity to be crashed means the activity with activity activity with least crash cost. Activity with least crash cost. Here our preference is like, okay, here our preference is 4 5. First preference, second preference, third preference, fourth preference. Like that we have to crash the, in that order only we have to crash the activities. Okay. So which path to be crashed? Critical path to be crashed. Which activity to be crashed? Critical activity to be crashed. Okay. So coming to our second question, question number 2. Okay, here in question number we have decided like here in question number 1 we have decided with path to be crashed as well as which activity to be crashed. Now our target is to decide, how many days to be crashed. How many days? Sorry. How many days? How many days to crash? Okay, you have decided activity and path also. Okay, you have decided path as well as activity. Now your question is how many days to be crashed. Okay, so to decide this how many days, you have to keep in mind rule number 1. Rule number 1, once a critical path, always a critical path. Once a critical path, always a critical path. Once a critical path, always a critical path. This is the basic rule, sir. Okay. Okay, check this rule number 1. Okay, once a critical path, always a critical path means, why this rule means, let's say for example, here our time durations are, okay, so 3 paths are there. In 3 paths, the 20 days, 22 days, 16 days are there. Let's say for example, if I crash this path, second path by, let's say for example 3 days, I have reduced this path by 3 days. Then new path durations are 20 days, 19 days, 16 days. Now what is the critical path, sir? What is the project duration? 20 days is, so highest duration path, first one, 20 days is project duration. Before crashing, how many days is the project duration? 22 days. Okay, before crashing project duration is 22 days. I have crashed the project by 3 days, but after crashing my project duration is 20 days only. Okay, I have crashed for 3 days, but project has crashed for 2 days only. That means I have incurred the cost for 3 days, but I got the benefit for 2 days only. Okay, so in that situation what you have to do is like you should not crash the critical path by any days you want to so different days, sir. Okay, so critical path has 22 days. Next path, next highest path is 20 days. That's why to avoid over cost, you have to crash the critical path by 2 days only to next highest critical path days. That means, okay, crash by 2 days, then it will become 20 days. Then 22 paths will be critical paths. So 20 days, okay, 20 days, 16 days. That means path 1 and path 2 critical paths. Once a critical path, always a critical path. It should not lose its criticality. That's the point. Got it? Got it really? Wow. Once a critical path, always a critical path. Okay, that is so remember rule number 2. What is the rule number 2, sir? Rule number 2 is check how many days how many days available for crashing. How many days available for crashing? Check how many days available for crashing. Okay, that will be given in the question, sir. The data will be given in the question. Okay, see, we have in question number 2 points, question number two, question number 1 2 points, question number 2 2 points. Okay, by checking all these points, we have to do some crashing. Okay, here I will solve the crashing question by using 4 tables. Okay, what are the 4 table means? Okay, table number one, I will write path table, sir. Path table. Why this path table means? Here I have to check to first one to identify critical path. To identify critical path, I need path table, and as well as okay. So here I said like once a critical path, always a critical path. Once a critical path, always a critical path. Okay, so to check whether this condition is getting satisfied or not, I need this table, path table, sir. Next one, coming to table number 2, here we have to write slash table. Okay, slash table means, why this slash table means? To identify, so first one, to identify to identify, okay, activity with least cost, activity with least crash cost, to identify activity with least cash cost. Okay, and also to check number of days available for crashing. So on table number 3, evaluation table, sir. Evaluation table. Here in this table we do crashing, sir. Evaluation table, in this table only we do some analysis, and crashing will be done under table number 3 only. Okay, so next one, if we want to write table 4, in some situation we don't need to write also cost table. Okay, here we calculate cost of each crashing. Okay, project cost under after each crash. Okay, guys, once again, got it? Table 1, table 2, table 3. Table 1, path table, to identify the critical path, and once a critical path, always a critical path rule. To satisfy that rule also we need path table. Second one, slash table. In this slash table, to identify the activity with the least cash crash, to check number of days available for crashing. Table number 3, evaluation table. Table number 4, cost table. Okay, so what are the two questions? First question, which path to be crashed? Which path to be crashed means critical path only. Okay, in critical path we will be having multiple activities. Out of these multiple activities, which activity to be crashed? The activity with least cost. Next one, question number 2, how many days to crash? How many days means, okay, we have to check once a critical path, always a critical path, and number of days available for crashing. Okay, so again, I will be repeating all these points while solving the problem. See, let us go and read the problem. Directly we shall attack December 24 attempt question paper, sir. Okay, I'm picking this question, sir. Recent December 24 attempt question paper. I'm taking this one. Okay, question number 7, 14 marks crashing question. Okay, so please read this question. Okay, on the screen you can see the question, December 24 attempt question paper. Okay, if you want, I can share this question paper also. Okay, I'm sharing this question paper in the group. Okay. Okay, similar kind of questions are there in our workbook, but I'm solving this question only. Question number 7 for 14 marks. I'm showing this question on the screen. On the screen. Read that question. Yes. Read this question and please draw network diagram, guys. Read this question and please try to draw network diagram. Hi, are you there? Okay, so here they have given number sequence as well as the activities. Just look at the number sequence, you can easily draw the network diagram, sir. Or else take A, B, C, D, E, you can draw diagram. Okay, activities and preceding activities are there. Okay, draw the network diagram. Hi guys, are you there? Please respond. Srinidhi, Srinivasan, Ashwini, Shaili, and Sumant, Sai Teja, Prashant, Niharika. How is the Josh? Yes, yes, yes. Big problem. Sir, 14 marks problem, sir. It will take 30 minutes in the examination also. Okay, within 30 minutes you can solve this question. Okay, not an issue. These questions will be asked for 14 marks. The time for you is 30 minutes. Okay, you can solve. If you practice, this question means you can solve within the 30 minutes. Not an issue. So please go through that problem. Okay, see, here we have, okay, I'm reading this question. Look at this once. Rontech I Limited, an engineering firm, won a contract to install an instrument landing device at local airport. Landing device at local airport. The complete installation can be broken down into 7 separate activities. Activity labeled A to G. Its predecessor activities, normal time and cost, crash time, cost are given in the question. Okay. Required, design the project network and indicate all paths through it. Okay, you can draw network diagram and we can indicate all the paths. Assess the critical path and normal duration. First 2 points you can easily solve, sir. Third point, evaluate the percentage of increase in cost to complete the project by 21 days. Okay. So to complete the project in 21 days, first of all, we have to calculate within how many days we can solve this, we can complete the project. Okay. See, here we have activities A, B, C, D, E, F, G. A is not having any preceding activity. That means A can be started at the beginning itself. After completing A, okay, B is having A as preceding, C, A, for D also A is preceding activities. After drawing A, from the A end point, split. After drawing A, from A split B, C, D, 3 activities. Okay, E is having B and C as preceding, F is having C and D as preceding, G is having E and F as preceding. Okay, please draw that network diagram. Okay, even if you get wrong, even if you draw wrong diagram also fine. Okay, at least you should try now. Here A, B, C, D, E, F, G are activities, sir. Please don't take that activities as events and don't write A and circle it. Please don't do that mistakes. My request. Please don't do that mistakes, sir. Guys, done? See, see guys, see in this question, A is not having any preceding activity. That means we can draw A at the beginning itself. Okay, so draw activity A. Draw an activity A like this. This is A. From A we can split B, C, D, as B, C, D activity is having preceding activity as A only. Okay, one is A, one is B, one is C, one is D. Okay, B, C, D. Okay, let us take this as B, C, D. Okay, now see, from B and C we have to draw E. Okay, B and C, E. Let's say if I draw E here, that gives the meaning like E is having B only as preceding activity. So I am connecting dummy here. Okay, so next one for F, C and D. Okay, draw F from here and connect dummies like this. Why I have connected E and F means final G is from E and F. So that's why I have connected E and F here. Okay, without connecting this E and F also, we can use some dummy G here like that also, but I have directly connected. Okay, so be careful, sir. Okay, you should not draw any activity from here. Any activity from here. Why means okay, even if you connect B to C here, you can take E. Okay, C to D, you can take F like that also. But okay, it would be better to draw from here also, here only. I think this kind of network diagram we have drawn yesterday, right? Yes. Next one, let us read this question, sir. Here we have activities. To the activities, I have drawn network diagram. Okay, here we have normal days and normal cost. Okay, normal days and normal cost. Normal days 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6. Okay, 7, 4, 5, 6. So activity, for activity A, time duration is 7. For B, it is how much? 4, 5, 6. This is 4, 5, 6. Okay, 7, 5, 6. 7 for E, 5, G, 6. Okay. So point number one, design the project network and indicate all paths through it. Okay, so we have to indicate all the paths through it. Okay, how many paths will be there, sir? Starting from this event, ending with this event, how many paths are there? We have to identify. Okay, let's say path 1. So A, B, E, G. A, B, E, G, one path. A, B, E, G, one path, sir. Next one, A, B, E, G, A, C, E, G, A, C, E, G. Next one, A, C, F, G, A, C, F, G. Next one, A, D, F, G, A, D, F, G, A, D, F, G. Okay, so four paths there. Okay, for each path, let us try to calculate the time duration, sir. For A, 7 plus 4 plus 7 plus 6, how much? 24. For ACEG, 7 plus 5 plus 7 plus 6, how much? 25, right? Okay, for ACFG, 7 plus 5 plus 5 plus 6, how much? 23. ADFGA, 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 6, how much? 24, I think. Okay, see what is the critical path here? Okay. Okay, point number one completed. As is the critical path and normal duration. Okay, critical path AC is the critical path and project duration is 25 days. Okay, with that first 2 points completed, sir. Now come to the question and let us try to analyze this one, sir. Normal days, normal crash duration, all this. Okay, here normal days means coming to activity A. Normally, activity A can be completed within 7 days, sir. Within 7 days, activity A can be completed normally. Okay, here crash duration is 5 days. That means not crash possible days. Okay, 7 and 5 means this activity A after crashing, by crashing 2 days we can complete this by 5 days. Crash days means after crashing we can complete this one after crashing days 5 days. Okay, that means this activity A originally 7 days, we can crash 2 days. Okay, we can complete this by 5 days. Okay, original cost is 500. Original cost is 500. Here after crashing cost will be 900. Okay, so try to observe now. From here to here we are trying to reduce how many days, sir? 2 days. Just by crashing 2 days, just by reducing 2 days, my cost is increased from 500 to 900. How much increased, sir? Okay, so 400 rupees cost increased. That means per day is 200. This 200 is called crash cost, sir. Or else this is also called as cost slope. Cost slope. Okay, how to calculate this cost slope means cost slope is nothing but cost difference in cost divided by difference in time, sir. Difference in cost divided by difference in time, that is cost slope. Okay, so now, so for activity A how many days of crashing is possible, sir? Activity A is there, sir. Originally we can complete it by 7 days. Okay, by reducing 2 days we can complete this by 5 days. That means how many days is possible to crash? 2 days only possible. Coming to B, how many days we can so crash this one? Okay, if you try to crash means it will become 5 days negative. Okay, so here 400 to 600 nothing is possible. For C 5 to 5 crash days is not possible. For D 6 for 2 days crash possible. Okay, 200 cost increasing, 200 divided by 2 means 100. 7 to 4 3 days we can crash. For the 3 days we are incurring 300 100 per day. 5 to 2 3 days 1400 minus 1800, 200 divided by, sorry guys, 600 divided by 3, right? Okay, let us write first table, sir. Let us write first table. Table number 1, table number 1, path table. Path table. See, in this path table, take the columns like first one path, first one paths. Okay, here we have how many paths? Okay, so copy paste these paths. Okay, just write these paths and their duration. No need to show this calculation and everything. Paths and their time duration, sir. That's it. Okay, so we will update after each stage of crashing their time durations and everything. Okay, leave the space there, leave space here. We will update after each stage of crashing. We will update the time durations. For that, leave the space. Okay, so next table, table number 2, nothing but slash table. Table number 2 slash table, slash table. Okay, in this slash table, take all the activities. Okay, here I'm copy pasting total table, but you don't need to write total tables. By looking at the question itself, you can write. Okay, so take, first of all, you have to write, take all the activities. Next one, crash days available, crash days available, crash days available. Okay, crash cost, crash cost per day, crash cost per day. Okay, write these activities. Okay, from the question itself, we can directly write, sir. But here you are not having question, right? So that's why I have taken this complete table. Okay, crash days available. So take it some big column. Okay, this is small column of. Can you guys tell me how many days crash for activity A? How did you get that, sir? Normal days minus crash duration. 7 minus 5, that is equal to crash days possible or available is 2 days for activity A. Next, for activity B, 4 minus 5, that means minus 1 days. If you try to crash means it will increases but does not reduce the duration. Next one, coming to C, 5 minus 5, 0. Next one, coming to D, coming to D, 6 minus 4, 2 days. Okay, 7 minus 4, 3 days. 5 minus 2, 3 days. 6 minus 4, 2 days. Okay, now we have to write crash cost per day, or else this is also called as cost slope. MCQs will be asked from this concept, sir. Okay, cost slope. How can we calculate cost slope? Means cost difference divided by time difference. Sorry, days difference or time difference. Cost difference. Okay, first of all, activity A, what is the cost difference? 500 to 900. 400 divided by 2, 200. Okay, next one, second activity, 400 to 600, 200. 200 by minus 1. Okay, that is minus 200. Minus 200. Coming to third one, 0 will not be there. Okay, coming to Coming to activity D, sir. Okay, how much cost increasing? 800 to 1000. 200 divided by 2, 100. Next one, 700 to 1000. 300 by 3, 100. Okay, 1800, 800 to 14, 600 divided by 3, 200. Okay, last one, 800 to 1600, 800 divided by 2. You will get a 400, sir. Okay, yes, Sally. Sir, are you clear with this, sir? Sir, are you okay with this concept? This calculation, this cost slope calculation and crash days available. Okay, please respond. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, now we have written table number 1 and table number 2, sir. Now we shall enter into the evaluation table, nothing but in which we will do crashing, sir. Table number 3, evaluation table. Evaluation table. In this table, okay, first take the columns like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 crashing, particulars, remarks, particulars, remarks, cost, crash cost, total, cumulative crash cost. We shall try to write cumulative crash cost. Okay. Now, what are they asking in the question, sir? Evaluate the percentage increase in cost to complete the project in 21 days. Okay. So, we have to reduce the, what is the original project duration is 25 days. We have to reduce the project duration to 21 days. Then we shall try to calculate the crash cost and everything, so that how much cost increase and everything we can say, sir. So let us start crashing, sir. What is our first stage? In first stage, okay, so what is our first question in crashing? Which path to be crashed? What is our first question, sir? Which path to be crashed? Okay, critical path. What is the critical path? ACEG is the critical path, right? Okay, in particulars column, right? Right, critical path ACEG. ACEG. This is the critical path. What is the duration? 25 days is the duration. Okay. Now, critical path to be crashed. Okay. In critical path, we have ACEG 4 activities. Which activity to be crashed? Okay. So, the activity which is having least crash cost. For A, what is the crash cost? For A, it is 200. For C, it is 0. Okay. Actual crash is not possible for C. Okay. So next one for ACE, for E, what is the crash cost? For E, 100 is the crash cost. Okay. For G, 400 is the crash cost. Okay. Now, could you please tell me which activity to be crashed? Activity E. Why means this is having least crash cost. Okay. So write in remarks column. Crash E. Okay, crash E. We have decided crash E. We have to crash activity E. Now, can you tell me how many days to crash E? To select, to decide how many days to be crashed. Okay, so we have two rules, sir. What is that rule? Once a critical path, always a critical path. Okay, that means critical path 25 days. If I crash by 1 day, okay, it will be equal to, we are crashing which activity, sir? Okay, let's say for example, what is the crash days available for C? G. Crash days available for G is, sorry, E kada. E crash days available for E is how many days? 3 days. Okay. See here, if I crash E by 3 days, this first path becomes how many days, sir? Here we have E, right? Okay, 24 minus 23. Okay, if I crash this 3 days, 22. Okay, here we are not having E, here we are also not having E. That means this will be 23, this will be 24. Once a critical path, always a critical path will not be satisfied, sir. For that, what we have to do, we can crash. Okay, next highest duration is 24. We can crash 1 day. If you crash E by 1 day means this will become 23, this becomes 24. Okay, here we are not having E. So 23, 23 only, 24, 24 only. Then we will have two critical paths, sir. Okay, so, sir, are you getting this one, sir? Okay, if you crash by 1 day only, okay, that would be like that. Okay, so check whether he is having 2 day, 3 1 day of crashing or not. He is having 3 days of crashing. Yes, we can crash by 1 day. Okay, crash E, in remarks column, right? Crash E by 1 day, sir. Crash E by 1 day. Okay, after writing crash E by 1 day, update table number 1 and table number 2, sir. If I crash E by 1 day, so remaining days, crash days available for E becomes 2 days only. Okay, so after that, update the table number 1. So after first stage of crashing, I have crashed E by 1 day. Here in first path we have E, that will be reduced, means first path will becomes 23. Second path we have E, 25 minus 1, 24. Third path we are not having E, so 23, 23 only. Fourth path we are not having E, 24, 24 only. Now we got two critical paths. This one and as well as this one. Okay, so next we shall enter into the second stage of crashing, sir. Second stage of crashing. Okay, so again my question is, which path to be crashed? Critical path. What are the critical paths, sir? ACG, ACEG, how many days? 24. Last one, AD, ADFG. This is also 24. Okay. So now we have to crash both the paths simultaneously. Both the paths. Two paths simultaneously you have to crash, sir. Okay. We should not crash only one path. You have to crash two paths. Okay. To crash two paths simultaneously, when there are multiple critical paths, we have to crash both the paths simultaneously. To crash both the paths equally, how can we crash both the paths at a time, sir? Okay, so let's say here A, both the paths having A. If I crash A, both the paths will be crashed. Or else G here, G here. If I crash G, both the paths will be crashed. So that means to crash both the paths simultaneously, we can crash common activities. Common activities are A, G. Okay, or else we can crash uncommon activities. In uncommon activities, okay, so in uncommon activities we have from first path we have C, E. In second path we have D, F. This is first path, this is second path. Okay, if I crash one activity from first path, you have to crash one activity from second path. Okay, if I crash this C from first path, you have to crash any one of D or F activity from second path, then only equally crashed. Okay, that's why here I am having alternatives. I can crash cd cf. I can crash cd cf. C by one day, D by one day, equally crashed. C by one day, F by one day. Okay, or else E D E F. E by one day, D by one day. E by one day, F by one day. Like that also I can crash. Okay, so in total I'm having how many alternatives, sir? This is A, G, C D, C F, E D, E F. Okay, if you observe, activity C is not having any crash possible days. Okay, so this alternative will not work for us. That means in total we have how many alternatives? 4 alternatives. What is the crash cost for A? The alternatives we have are either A. What is the crash cost for A? 200. What is the crash cost for G? Okay. What is the C, D? This cancelled. E, D. What is the crash cost for E? 100. For D? 100. Okay. So if I crash E by one day, D by one day, I will incur crash cost of 100 plus 100, 200. Okay. If I crash E by one day, F by one day, E for E 100, for F 200. In total, I will incur 300. Okay. Now see, here I have 4 alternatives, sir. Here I have how many alternatives? 4 alternatives. See, 4 alternatives. So out of these alternatives, crashing A will incur 200, G will incur 400. Okay. So CD not possible, CF not possible, ED 200, EF 200. So alternative 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. In these alternatives, which alternative? So what is the what will be my preference? Which alternative I have to choose first? Alternative which is having least crash cost. That means my first preference A or so this one. This is my first preference. Next, this is second rank. This is third rank. With this preference, I can crash. Okay. So when there are multiple critical paths, you have to crash 2 paths. To crash 2 paths simultaneously, either you can crash common activities or else uncommon activities. Here common activities are AG, crash 200, 400 cost. Okay, uncommon activities C, D, E, F, right? Alternatives. In that alternative, C is not possible to crash, no? So that's why I have written E, D, E, F. Okay, see now. Okay, now my preference is A or ED. Okay, simply I'm going with A, sir. Crash A by how many days? Okay, so by how many days? To decide that, go to table 2 and here how many days is possible, sir? 2 days. If I crash A by 2 days, okay, 4 paths having A activity A, then this will become 21, 22, 21, 22. Okay, so fine. Once a critical path, always a critical path. That means crash A by how many days? 2 days. If I crash A by 2 days, what will be the crash cost? For day 200. For 2 days, 2 into 200, that is equal to 400. Okay, in above first stage also we have to write crash cost, sir. 1 day into 100 only crash cost. Okay, so here we have decided to crash A by 2 days. Okay, after writing this, update table number 1 and 2. Table number 1 and 2, sir. Okay, in table number 2, so crash available days for activity A is 2 days available, 2 days crash 0. Okay, now after second stage of crashing, okay, we have crashed A by 2 days. Okay, in first path we have A, so this 23 becomes 21. Second path A, 24 becomes 22, 21, okay, 22. Okay, so now we have how many critical paths? 2 critical paths. There is no change in critical paths. Okay, so same critical paths. That means we can go to the third stage of crashing. Third stage of crashing. Here our alternative and analysis, possible alternatives are same only, same as above. Okay, same as above, sir. Okay, here I have used this alternative. So next preference is ED by 200 only, bro. ED by 200 only. Okay, see, if I crash E by 1 day, D by 1 day, what will happen, sir? Okay, crash possible days for E, how many days? 2 days. D, 2 days. 2 days we can crash. Okay, if I crash E by 1 day, E by 1 day, this becomes 21. D by 1 day, this becomes 21. Okay, so our target is to 21 days only, no? Okay, even though we have 2 days of crashing possible, we go with 1 day only. Okay, right, crash E comma D each by 1 day. Okay, if I crash each by 1 day means 1 day 200 is the crash cost. Okay, now let us update the table, sir. After third stage of crashing, crash possible days for E becomes 1, for D becomes 1. Okay, so update this table after third stage of crashing. Here we are not having, so in first path we have E, right? Okay, this 21 becomes 20. Second path we have E, 22 becomes 21. Third path we have, we are not E or D, 21, 21 only. In fourth path we have D, so will be reduced by 1 day, 21. Okay, so now we have 3 critical paths, but our target reached, no? So stop crashing here, write note point, note. After third stage of crashing, after third stage of crashing, after third stage of crashing, project duration is project duration is project duration is 21 days, sir. 21 days. Project duration is 21 days. So additional cost, additional cost, additional cost to additional cost to crash, additional cost on crashing, additional cost on, so that means cumulative crash cost. How much, sir? In first stage we have incurred 100, second stage 400, third stage 200. In total additional crash cost is 700 rupees. Now now what is the normal cost, sir? Normal cost, go to the question and calculate total normal cost. Total normal cost is okay, so to complete A by 7 days, B by, so all these times, okay, we will incur cost of 500 plus 400 plus 500 plus 800 plus 700 plus 800 plus 800. This is fixed, sir. This is fixed. Even if you crash, this cost won't be reduced, cost will be increased only. This is fixed. Okay, in addition to, if you crash only, you will incur additional cost. That means this normal cost is direct or fixed cost. How much? 4,500. Okay, normal cost is 4,500. Additional cost 700. Therefore percentage increase in cost, percentage increase in cost, that is equal to 700 divided by 4500 multiplied with how much, sir? 15.55 percentage. Any doubts? Please reply. Live batch students. Okay, first of all, keep in mind that whenever we are crashing, you have to ask yourself two questions. First question is which path to be crashed, critical path. In critical path, we'll be having multiple activities. Which activity to be crashed? The activity which is having least crash cost. How many days to be crashed? How many days to be crashed means, okay, we have to check once a critical path, always a critical path. When there are multiple critical paths, you have to crash simultaneously two paths. Okay, so that point in mind, sir. So first of all, check you can crash common activities or else uncommon activities, each activity from each path. Okay, so and to decide how many days to be crashed, check how many days available for crashing. Okay, so crash days available, you can calculate from the question itself. That's it. That's it. That's it. For each stage of crashing, check all these question number 1 and question number 2. 30 okay, you can complete this question by 30 minutes. Easy question only. Yes, sir. What is the doubt, sir? What is your doubt? Ramakrishna Garu, what is your doubt? Next concept. How is the Josh? Hmm. Okay, I have solved this question now. You guys try these questions. Question number 6, question number 7. Enough. You guys try these questions. Question number 6, page number 11.21. Question number 7, 11.22. You can try these questions, two questions. Okay. If you have done with that crashing concept also, now let us move to the resource leveling, sir. Okay, till now, are you guys clear? Shall we start another concept, or else shall we close the class for today? Crashing and program evaluation review technique, both are next level concepts. Okay, so even though here today we are having the class till 6 o'clock, I am closing the class now itself. Why means, okay, you guys take the time. Okay, so from this chapter we will get definitely 7 mark question or 14 mark question. Okay, so for 14 mark question, program evaluation technique, review technique, or else crashing can be asked, sir. Okay, so I have explained two concepts and I have solved two questions for each concept. So that's why I have already given you two questions from each for each concept. Okay, you guys try at least one more question for program evaluation review technique, one more question for critical path method. Okay, so please, I am giving you time. Please solve one question for program evaluation review technique, one question from uh, crashing. Okay, so tell me that question number, sir. For program evaluation review technique for CPM. Okay, so question number 3 I have solved, sir. Page number. Question number 3 I have solved this question. Page number 11.13. 11.13. Next, this one completed. Next question. Question number 4. Next question only, right? Question number 4, page number 11.16. Page number 11.16. Try this question. And also, next question 11.18. Question number 5. Question number 5. 11.18. Out of these two questions, at least try one question, sir. Okay, coming to CPM, critical path method, I have discussed December 24 attempt question. Okay, so we have two more questions there. Question number 6. Question number 6, 11.21, page number, or else question number 7, 22. Please try at least one question from you guys can prepare. Okay, I can easily go to the resource leveling concept. Okay, within that half an hour or 40 minutes, I can complete that concept. But in single day, if you are learning these tough concepts in single day means, okay, your brain cannot digest that concept, sir. Your brain cannot retain that concepts and everything. So please try these questions. Okay, please comment. Are you guys okay? Are you guys okay with it? Ramakrishna sir, Prashant, Shaili, Aswini, Srinidhi, Padmavati garu, Niharika, Sai Teja. Guys, please comment. Please comment. Okay, if you won't comment means I will assume like okay, you are sleeping. Assume like okay, by opening the mobile and by opening YouTube video and everything, you are sleeping on your bed. I assume like that, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay, so try that questions. Try at least one question from program analysis review technique. Try at least one from critical path method. Okay. We will meet in next class, sir. Until then, yes, Sai Krishna, yes, Lakshmi, yes, yes, yes. Sivareddy. Hi Sivareddy, how are you? Okay, thank you all guys. You are the one of the dedicated student. You have been attending the classes regularly. Yeah. So maybe see guys, see that guy Sivareddy. He may get the rank in next coming attempt. Hi, BCCA, CSMA. Hi, Mandeep sir. Hi sir, Mandeep sir. Right. Okay guys, with this I'm closing this session. Okay, so I have solved one question from PERT, one question from CPM. Most important concepts. Okay, we can expect at least 14 mark question from this network analysis concept. That's why, okay, I have marked two questions here, PERT and CPM. Okay, at least in worst case, try one question for PERT, one question for CPM. Okay, so if you get any doubts, means okay, you can ask me in tomorrow session so that we can discuss and okay. So anyway, if you get in doubt, if you can't able to solve those questions, means I will explain, sir. Okay, that's it. At least try that questions. Thank you all. Thank you, Ravi sir, for watching my live, and thank you, Manadeep sir, and he's also watching, I think. Thank you all, guys. Bye. Okay, before closing the session, okay, I want to show you guys my books. Okay, this is our SCM workbook. This is our SCM concept book. Okay, in this workbook, we have all the problems of last 10 attempt question papers. And in this concept book, okay, simplified concepts will be there. And also I have added all the MCQs from past papers also. Thank you guys. Bye. And this are